sow some seeds using vegetables that you might have got in the house. So the first thing we need is something like a pepper, and it needs to be a ripe pepper, so it needs either to be red or yellow or orange, not a green one, and it needs to be ripe. So what you want to do is get the seeds out of the pepper. So what you do is cut the top bit off, and then you can see this one hasn't got a lot of seeds in, but you can see the seeds in the pepper. If you pick the seeds out and put them onto a lid or something like that, I've got a little lid here that I'm going to put them onto. See, they're quite fat, so they're probably going to be the sort that germinate. Basically, you need them to be ripe, so if the fatter they are, the more likely they are to be ripe. So it's maybe a good idea to leave them on something like this overnight to dry. You need to try and get all that pith out. Can you see that? No, there. Pith out like that. And then you can see the seeds on the lid. Okay, so that's that. So then you can use the pepper as normal. So I'm going to take that away. What you could use is a tomato. I've only got a little tomato, so it might be quite hard to do. You could use any size of tomato. So basically, again, we're just looking for the seeds in the tomato, and you can see here there's a few seeds there. So I'm just going to again scrape them onto there, and again it's a good idea to leave them overnight to dry. So I'm going to scrape the seeds out of the middle there, pop them onto the lid to dry. Pot and saucer, that's great. If you've not, you can use something like a yoghurt pot. You need to make holes in the bottom of the yoghurt pot, so you might need some scissors, or this is a sort of, I think it's called a bradawl, to do that with. And be careful while you do it. So make 4 little holes or something like that in the bottom of the pot, and you can do it with any size yoghurt pot. I've got quite a big one here, but it doesn't need to be a big one for now. You might need some bigger ones later to pot it onto. So I'm going to move the chopping board out of the way, and then all we need to do is we need to fill the pot with some soil. So I'll get some soil. I'll get it where you can see it, hopefully. And then just fill the pot with some soil. If you've not got any compost, compost would be the best. But if you've not got any compost, you could probably use some soil at the garden. So there, that's the soil in the pot. I've just filled it almost to the top. Then if you take some seeds that you've left overnight and put a few in, you can put more than one in because they might not all germinate. So I've put like a few in the top there. And then I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of soil over the top, just to make sure that they're covered, and then I'm going to water it a little bit. So here's a watering can. I'm just going to put a little bit of water on the top of it, just to moisten it. There we go. If your soil's already wet, then don't bother doing this. It's just that mine's quite dry because it's been in the shed. Then, if you've not got a saucer, you can use something like one of these that's had mushrooms in. Make sure it's one that's not got any holes in, and just stand it in that. And you can maybe put 2 or 3 in the same box. And then I usually put it inside a plastic bag, a clear plastic bag, to help keep it nice and warm. and then just sit it on the windowsill. And as soon as you see the green coming through, take the bag off and it should be growing. It might take a while to germinate, like 2 or 3 weeks. Oh, and I've forgotten a very important thing. We need to label what it is, because you will forget. Even if you think, I know exactly what that is, you will forget. So you can either write on the pot. So I'm going to write pepper on the pot, although the pen's not working, so perhaps I'm not. Or you can write pepper on a label and stick it on. Or you can stick a label in the pot. You've got labels like this from any other gardening projects you've got. You can write pepper on that and stick it in the pot like that. Like that. Okay? And then you can just put it in a bag. Like this. And leave it to grow. So the other things that you could do this with, as well as peppers and tomatoes, would be something like a chilli or a butternut squash. You could also, if you had potatoes that were sprouting, you could plant them in the garden. I'll get one to show you. So here's a supermarket potato that we've had a while, but you can see it's starting to sprout, so I could just plant that in the garden and that would hopefully grow. Yeah, so there's lots of things you can do if it's hard to get seeds. I think that's all for now. Thank you. Bye.